So there was a girl named Cinderella.
She has a dad and a mom. The mom dies.
Her dad got remarried to a lady,
And then the dad goes away.
Her father dies.
She lived with her two stepsisters and her stepmother.
An evil stepmother.
that lady had two daughters.
They're not very attractive.
Cinderella didn't get along with the daughters
They were terribly mean to her.
or the stepmom or their cat, Lucifer.
They start treating Ella as a slave, as a servant.
So they made Cinderella do all the dishes and clean all the house, and they made her live up in the attic.
Her only friends are the animals in the house. Like
She sleeps in the ashes and the cinders. They start calling her Cinderella.
the sisters don't do anything.
There was a ball.
Every eligible young woman should come to the ball. And she has her mom's beautiful dress. And then she tells the stepmom she's going, and the mom's like ruins the dress or hides the dress.
She doesn't have the means to get there because
They left Cinderella at home, but then the fairy godmother came and
Transformed her
got her a dress, a carriage.
her mice friends into horses, and
the rule was to be home by midnight.
Midnight,
She went to the ball,
meets the prince, he falls in love with her.
fell in love with the prince,
So they danced the night away.
and it was coming midnight, so she ran out.
And I guess she leaves a glass slipper behind.
the prince had the slipper, so he went around to all the town because he liked this girl. He was looking for a girl to marry.
He found Cinderella and they lived happily ever after.
Just tried it on and it fit, and they ended up getting married and lived happily ever after.
It was Cinderella, and they lived happily ever after.
Happily ever after.
Tries it on, fit, they get married, happily ever after.
The father actually wasn't dead and he was there the whole time.
I did not know that.
What?
I'd be curious. I know he's alive, but where he is, as in, is he involved in? So he's still there, basically allowing all that to happen. I'd be very surprised.
Oh wow.
I didn't remember that.
The mother had died, and instead of there being a fairy godmother, there was a hazel tree, a witch hazel tree, growing on her mother's grave that granted her wishes.
That's lame.
The tree is like a representation of the mom because it's over the grave of the mother, and
My dad used to read to us from the German version of the Grimm fairy tales, and he'd translate it as he went. So we
cool.
missed vital parts of it because he's like
yeah.
translating on the fly.
Right.
But we got some interesting bits, and
The sisters, when they're trying on the shoe, they cut off parts of their feet to be able to fit inside the shoe, and that at the very end their eyes get plucked out by birds.
it's a children's story. It's a little more gruesome.
Oh.
To try to fit into the shoes. So
Wait, they did that in the. Have you seen that movie? Once
Once Upon a Time?
Into the Woods.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
They did that in Into
They
the
did?
Woods. And
I
I was
didn't
like,
see that.
what the heck?
Did not know that. Also, like, wouldn't he just recognize her? Like, why is the slipper, like, a big part of it? Is he blindfolded the whole time? Like, what's the point of the slipper even?
Which version do you like better? The one you told me or the one I told you about?
I like my version better. I don't know. It's got cooler things in there with the fairy godmother and the mice and I don't know. I sounds cooler that way.
I like the Grimm brothers because bad people deserve bad things. It's not happily ever after for everyone. So I think, yeah, I prefer the Grimm brothers. I think Disney doctors up the stories all the time, so I'm sure they've done that with other stories.
That Disney
Me
version.
too.
I like the Disney version still more. I like what they did with it, and it's also the one that I saw growing up and rode the ride at Disney and all that stuff. And so I think that in the whole context of each story, I would prefer the Disney story over the other one with the brothers.
I think I prefer the glass slipper one because it's more traditional, and I I like they do the fairy godmother.
The Grimm.
The Grimm.
Honestly, the Disney's good. Like, it's well done, and you can't deny Disney's influence on animation, on storytelling, on and on, but it's too flat.
Yeah.
It cuts out so many characters that there's hardly a story left.
The Disney one, because a wishing tree is lame.